Let's talk journaling for a bit. The habit of writing everything down has been instilled within us since when we were kids, when we were asked to write essays about how our day was, what our relationships are like, what's my mom like, what's my dad like, what are my siblings like. So basically, just being able to express ourselves and having that freedom of thought has been instilled within us from a very young age. Similarly, journaling is like a modified or a fancier version of writing everything down. Basically, you use journaling, or rather we all use journaling as a tool for self-expression and mental clarity. Scientifically, journaling activates the reticular activating system of the brain, thus allowing us to simplify and organize any complex thoughts that we may have throughout our lifetime or throughout our day. It fosters self-reflection by allowing individuals to actually simplify all of their complex thoughts, to reflect on their thoughts, to review their thoughts, and to actually understand them. While doing all of this, it also promotes personal growth and emotional regulation. For me, journaling has been a great tool to get mental clarity and to also get a little bit of insight as to who I am as a person and how I actually think, because journaling is not just effective for manifestation, but it's also effective when you're trying to piece all the pieces together. So if you're upset about a particular situation or about something that went down, you can actually write all of those thoughts, no matter how they come to you, and you can actually analyze those thoughts, because now you can reflect on them in a way that, you know what, you're a third party and you're reading somebody else's story, because now that you have everything down on paper, you can just go through it and be like, oh, so probably I misunderstood the whole situation. Oh, or probably, you know what, I felt bad in that particular situation. Oh, or probably there's a different perspective to this situation. So journaling is so good for mental clarity and just better understanding of what's going on in my brain, because sometimes it's a scramble up here, okay? And it's so difficult to put my thoughts together, just to even think clearly for a second. But just by writing in my notes app or just by journaling, it gives me a lot of mental clarity that allows me, again, room for personal growth and development, because I can actually assess myself, and I can actually catch myself when I'm thinking negatively, when I'm thinking, badly or horribly about a particular situation, or I'm just not in that headspace. Like, it just gives me an overall review of what my headspace is currently looking like, and what are the kind of thoughts that go through in my brain, and how can I actually counteract that and use them in a way that it benefits me. Also created so much self-awareness that I'm now able to actually recognize my own patterns, whether that be healthy patterns that are actually working for me, or toxic patterns that I need to break and rewire and reconstruct in order for them to work for me, so that I'm actually working on myself in a real true sense. You understand what I mean? Like, I'm actually rewiring myself, rewiring my brain to think thoughts, to have a positive outlook on life, because that's who I am and that's who I want to be, and also rewire my brain for success if the need be. What that's also allowed me to do is become a better decision maker and be a lot more confident within myself, because now I know what kind of a pattern I'm in, what kind of a loop I'm in. I catch myself, I bring myself back, and that's kind of built a lot of confidence within myself, because now I feel so extremely confident. Even in the worst case scenario, when I'm not probably thinking right, I know exactly what to do and how to reconstruct my thoughts and my patterns in order to, make them effectively work for me, and for me to become successful in the end. You know what, it's just magical. It's also improved my mental health beyond recognition at this point, because now that you can actually understand yourself in the real sense, like you see your raw, vulnerable side where you're like, oh, these are the thoughts that go through my mind on a daily basis, I need to do something about it. So now you can actually consciously pick up the pieces, rewire those pieces, and reconstruct your mind for it to work for you and not against you. So again, it improves your mental health on different levels. It reduces anxiety, it reduces any cognitive load, an unnecessary cognitive load that you might be having due to your lack of productivity or just because of your lack of time management skills. It actually allows you to sit, assess, and analyze your own brain, in the sense that, you understand your skills, you understand your mindset, you understand the kind of headspace you're in, you understand your life goals and values, which is very deep, which I didn't think was going to happen, but you actually understand who you are at your core, because sometimes somebody's self-perception could be so distorted that they don't really see them or view themselves in their own light. They view themselves through somebody else's rose-colored glasses or somebody else's distorted perception of them, which creates this image in their brain where they're like, oh, I'm not this person, but they actually are that person. For example, if somebody says, oh no, you don't like mangoes, but you actually enjoy mangoes, like, why are you viewing yourself via somebody else's lenses? Because that's their perception of you, that's their how they look at you, it's not your reality. Now let's talk the materials and the tools that you need to actually start journaling effectively. Now people think this is like a magical game where they're like, oh, this got technical bits. You need a journal that's got all of these XYZ questions that's going to address all the head-on issues. No, actually, you just need a diary. You just need a journal. You need a journaling app on your phone, or you need something that you can write all of your thoughts into on your laptop. Whatever gadget, device, or you know what, a handy journal that you have at home is going to do the work for you. But again, we're trying to make the whole process of journaling enjoyable so that you stay consistent on it, because falling off of journaling can happen quite a lot once you realize how effective it's actually getting. It can be a little mundane, it can be a little deep, it can be a little dark sometimes. So just for you to be able to maintain and persist in that process of journaling, you need to have to make something that actually you enjoy. So whether that be writing on apps, writing in your phone notes app, or you have a journaling app. There are a bunch of journaling apps on the App Store. You can download them, and if you have Android, you can obviously go to the App Store there and download those apps there. Or you can just journal. You can have physical journals. There are so many journals these days. People are selling so many journals where they have these insightful questions for you to answer throughout the day. For example, what are the 5 things you are grateful for? The 5-minute journal is the best one, but again, it's a tad bit on the expensive side, so I wouldn't suggest that, because journaling does not need to burn a hole in your pocket. It's something that you do for your own mental peace and sanity. It does not really, it's not like an aesthetic thing, unless you're on that vibe. You know what, you're in the whole process where you're like, oh my god, journaling is a big thing for me, and I'm willing to spend a little bit of money here and there just to get the best journal, the best pens, the best pencils, the best of everything that the world has to offer when it comes to the market of journaling. It's great. And if not, if you're just starting out, I would just suggest get a plain diary. Physical journaling is something that I prefer rather than writing it on my notes app or phone, but again, it's completely subjective and it depends on who you are as a person and what you enjoy. Physical form of journaling is something that I enjoy, so let's talk a little bit more about that. So I have this journal. I got it on Amazon. Let me show it to you guys. So this is the journal that I use. I'm just going to insert a video of the journal here as to what it looks like on the inside. So again, it's called the Gratitude Journal. It's called Invest a Few Minutes in a Day to Develop Thankfulness, Mindfulness, and Positivity, which is great because the journal starts on a very good page and I'm all up for that. And also it's got like a bunch of questions on the inside which actually help me dive a little more deeper, because when you have the right kind of questions, when you have the right kind of insightful questions, it actually helps you analyze your psyche a little bit more, and it actually helps you align with the thought process and the mindset of journaling in the first place. So the first question here is, today I am grateful for, and you can list 5 things that you're grateful for today, or it could be literally how many ever you want to fit into that, but that's just like 5 lines, so you can fit all of that into that. Then there is a space for positive affirmations. Then there are little things that made my day. Learnings from today, because of course there are learnings every day. So what are your learnings for today? And of course, like a little bit of a section for goals and plans for tomorrow. So you can write all of that in, and you can actually just make this a little bit of a to-do list or a planner situation too. Okay, let's talk about different ways you can journal. The first one being consciousness-based journaling, in a sense that you don't need to be conscious about your spelling, your grammar, or your punctuation. You don't have to worry about all of that. What you're doing is you're just writing everything that comes to mind in whatever pace, whatever speed, or whatever language it comes to your mind in. The process is usually done to actually observe your subconscious thoughts and your subconscious thought patterns, because that's going to allow you to recognize who you are at a core level, in the sense what are the thoughts that go through your mind on a day-to-day basis, and if you want to actually use them to your advantage, that's how you know that you need to rewire your subconscious mind in order to be able to gain a bit more clarity as to what's going on there. Second bit being gratitude journaling, of course, like we spoke about. So you can get a gratitude journal in itself, or that's the kind of journaling practice if you want to maintain throughout your life, because you feel like just giving gratitude puts you into a better mood and puts you on the highest frequency, and you feel very good after you gratitude journal and you give gratitude for everything in your life. You know what, if that's the type of journaling you're into, just go ahead and do that, where you give gratitude for, if that's the only kind of journaling you want to do, if giving gratitude is the only kind of journaling you want to do, and it does not include any thought dumping or any kind of assessing yourself or your thoughts, you can give gratitude for 10 to 15 things throughout the day, because again, that's going to put you in a brand new mood. It's going to actually help you reassess and reevaluate your mental situation, as to it's going to put you on a good mental frequency. It's going to reduce the stress. It's going to take away all of that, because immediately when you give gratitude, you reach the highest frequency there is, and that immediately just transcends you. Reflective journaling. Now, this is something that's used by a lot of people, and that's because they want to actually assess the things that went on throughout the day and what that made them feel, and what is it that they can do about it, and how can they change that, how can they prevent themselves from going through that particular situation, and all of that. Now, this is like real hardcore journaling. So this is a combination of thought dumping all of your thoughts and reassessing, reviewing, and reevaluating all those thoughts while you're going through it, and you're trying to understand your thought pattern, you're trying to understand your emotional state, you're trying to understand your emotional reactions, and now you can work on it. Now that you understand your emotional state, you understand your thought pattern, you can catch yourself when you're being in a bad space, and you can actually rewire that, look at it from a different perspective, and actually make it useful and not that hurtful for you next time. Again, prompt-based journaling is the thing that I talked about when I journal, because that's something that I really enjoy, because when I have the right kind of insightful questions that cover various areas and not just one thing, whether that be giving gratitude or just thought dumping or just analyzing. No, I want to cover everything all at once. So that's the kind of prompt-based journal that I like. So yes, of course, I thought dump sometimes, or I video journal sometimes, video diary. And I have a vlog page, by the way, that actually helps me assess my mental emotional state, because I'm talking to myself, and that's kind of very therapeutic in a way. And also, prompt-based journaling allows you to explore various areas, so you know where you stand in all of those areas, and you kind of cover the base that's required when it comes to journaling. Again, consistency is the key when it comes to journaling. So it happens more often than not that people tend to slip off their habit of journaling, thought dumping, gratitude journaling, whatever it is that you're comfortable with. They kind of do slip off, in the sense, again, because as soothing it is and as good for your mental health it is, sometimes there are different kind of barriers throughout the day. Now, the most kind of challenges that people face are overcoming writer's block when it comes to journaling, is because they don't know what to write. And you know what, to that I would say write anything, because that anything is going to lead to something, and that something is going to actually help you comprehend the kind of journaling situation you're in and where you're at in the whole process of journaling, and how you can improve that. The most common thing that some people face is self-criticism, self-judgment, and you know what, just being mean to yourself sometimes. Because when you're actually in that raw, vulnerable state, sometimes you judge yourself, where you're like, oh, why did I think that way? Or how did I think that way? Or why am I feeling like this? But it is what it is. So you have to use this formula of it is what it is very diligently when it comes to journaling. It's because that's how you're feeling. You don't have to explore more into that. That's how you felt in that particular moment. And now you can sit and assess as to why you felt that. And if that's something that you don't want to feel on a regular basis, you can change that. You can change your thought pattern, you can change your emotional state around that particular subject, and you can change your perspective. Thus, that's going to land you into different behaviors, different patterns, and that's going to put you in a different state altogether. And that's self-improvement again. So you're going to come out as a victor on top here, because now you've understood yourself, you assessed yourself, and you know what you wanted to change. You wanted to make some changes in your life and the way you think and the way you act. There you go, you've done that. All of that needs to be done without you judging yourself, criticizing yourself, analyzing yourself, or just self-sabotage. Just absolutely not. Again, perfectionism is a no-go when it comes to journaling, because journaling is very personal, it's very private. It's the only thing you do for yourself. Like, it's the most selfish, but the most beautifully selfish act of self-love, in the sense that, you know what, you can make all the spelling mistakes you want, you can have the worst handwriting, like nobody cares, nobody's gonna read that, that's your own stuff. You can have your wildest imagination put down on paper, you can have your darkest dreams put down on paper, you can have literally anything when it comes to journaling. Everything goes when it comes to journaling. Literally everything goes, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. Everything flies when it comes to journaling. So write your thoughts down without perfectionism getting in the way of all of that. It does not have to be a composition, in the sense that it needs an introduction, a body, a conclusion. It doesn't have to do that, okay? It doesn't have to be pointers. You want to write points, you want to write words, just be like feeling low, It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. You can write what you want, whatever suits you, and whatever comes to your mind. So how are you going to actually introduce journaling into your daily life? Now, some people want to journal in the morning in the sense that they write a story as to how they want their day to look like, or they give gratitude for things that they already have. In the sense that, you know what, they actually want to start the morning on a good note, so they started with gratitude, or they started with storytelling. Now, storytelling is actually a very powerful manifestation technique, in the sense that you review your day way in advance, and that day follows exactly like that, because now you know that these are the things that you're expecting throughout the day, whether that be being on top of your schedule, going to the gym, eating good food. You've inculcated all of that in your journaling practice, and you're like, you know what, I wrote a whole story as to, you know, this is what my day looks like, and I'm very grateful for that. Day is going to flow, and it's going to actually look exactly the way you journaled in the morning, which is a very good prompt. Or some people like to do it in the day, or some people like to do it in the evening. I prefer to do it in the evening, because that actually helps me relax and put my mind at ease once I've, you know, eliminated all of those thoughts that I've had, or, you know, I've given gratitude for the things that I have to give gratitude for. I've made a little bit of a to-do list. I've done all of the things that I need to do for me to be able to journal effectively. And you're going to use the concept of habit stacking here. So if you do it, and if you like journaling in the morning, what you're going to do is you're going to, when you're drinking coffee or when you're eating your breakfast, you're going to bring that journal, bring it next to you, so the next thing you do is write in your journal, or you do it simultaneously, just to be able to build that habit on top of an anchor habit, a pre-existing habit. And I have a whole different video for that, so go check out that one as to how to habit stack effectively and how to make the most out of your day, so that, you know what, journaling does not have to be a tedious task where you're like, oh, I have to schedule time in for journaling. No, you can actually just schedule 5 minutes throughout the day to just journal whatever you're feeling, whatever, you know, things are looking like. If you want to emotionally regulate, you can do all of that within 5 minutes. I'm not even kidding. This just takes 5 minutes. It does not take longer than that. So you can do that. You can do that then when you're habit stacking in the morning, or you can do it at lunch. Or, you know what, if you're out and about on a walk, and if you like to write in your notes app when you're journaling, or, you know, you have a journaling app on your phone or something like that, you can do it then when you're enjoying your walk. So again, you're habit stacking, and again, you're being productive, and it's not taking up too much of your time. And I emphasize the need of being consistent here, because you're going to start noticing certain things about yourself. You're going to become a lot more emotionally regulated. You're going to have a lot more mental clarity. You're going to be a lot more understanding and self-compassionate. Yes, that also happens because when you start journaling and looking at yourself as an ordinary person that you are, which is completely fine, because we all are ordinary human beings, and you're normal, and you have the same emotions, same thoughts, and it's fine. Like, it does not have to be so out of the world. You stop judging yourself, you stop criticizing yourself, which is the best act of self-love. That's like the epitome of self-love at this point. And also, if you miss a day or two, it's fine. It's fine. Don't judge yourself for that. Don't hammer yourself on the head with a nail because of that, just because you were inconsistent. Get back on track. The simplest thing you can do is just get back on track. The next day, schedule those 5 minutes in, write whatever you need to do, and that's it. Just let go of all of that, you know, emotional pattern that you have against yourself. Just let go of all of that. All you need to do is just be nice and just be like, you know what, never mind, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Simple. When you're consistent with your journaling and you've done it for about a good 3 to 4 months, you're going to notice certain signs that actually tell you you're on the right track when it comes to journaling. And journaling has actually effectively helped you self-improve. Those signs may look something like this. You have an improved emotional intelligence and self-awareness when it comes to things about yourself or people around you. It may also look like you are in a good mood because you know how to regulate your emotions at any given point in time. You've actually rewired your mind, and you know what? You're not having as many negative thoughts or limiting beliefs pop up these days because you've actually done the inner work. When people say inner work, this is the inner work. You need to sit with yourself, analyze yourself, and hit those hard-hitting points to the point they break so that you can reconstruct them in a good way. You have a lot more mental clarity and you make better decisions now. I'm not talking about impulsive decisions. I'm not talking about fast decisions. You just make better decisions that are good for you. You are a problem solver at this point. Like, you've actually gained confidence in solving problems because you've done that for yourself. So you've built that kind of self-confidence in that area within yourself. So what that does is it also helps personal growth and development, and it also allows yourself to recognize yourself as the prize in a sense that you allow yourself to enjoy the little achievements and the small wins. Now, for those looking to advance their techniques when it comes to journaling, you can start with different areas of your life. Now again, when it comes to the mind, you can do processes and things like mind mapping that allows you to visualize different areas or different parts throughout your day or your life. That again gives you a lot more insight and clarity as to what actually happened. Or if you don't figure out something that, you know what, you probably were missing a bit or link of an information, and if you want to just revisit the past, you can mind map. And you know, once you start journaling, you're going to get onto that level where you actually kind of become a lot more aware and a lot more conscious of things that go on throughout the day, and you do have little bits and bobs of memories throughout your day, in the sense that you can actually jot them down on paper, go back onto them and reevaluate them. And you can do manifestation practices like writing letters to your future self. Like again, Kendall Jenner, I think on the Ellen DeGeneres show, she had written, when she was 9 years old, she'd written a letter to herself saying that, you know what, I'm going to be a very successful model. And now that she is, she read that letter out loud, in the sense that, you know what, when she was 9 years old, she'd written a letter to her future self, because, you know what, that's who she wanted to become. And that's something that you can do if you have goals and ambitions and aspirations, and you know what, you want to be somewhere 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Just write a letter to your future self that, you know what, I am so and so, and I am, for example, you want to be an architect or you want to be an actor. So I'm a very successful actor, acted in so and so films, and you know what, I'm so happy, I'm so established, and I'm very grateful for that. Just write a little bit of gratitude again in that, because you want to be in that frequency. Again, when we speak of journaling, journaling does not just have to be in one particular area of your life. It is for every area of your life. So that can be when it comes to your feelings, your thoughts, your career, your relationships, your food, your gym workouts. It could be about literally every area of your life, as long as you just know how to write them down effectively, so that, you know what, you can go through them, you can assess them, you can evaluate them, and you can actually understand them. Also, start simple. Don't make it that complicated when you're just beginning, and you know what, you're going to progress onto the more complicated things with time, and you're going to do it naturally. It's like a progression of time. So don't complicate it, and just keep it as simple as possible. Focus on consistency rather than perfection, because perfection does not exist. It's not true. Just manage and try to stay consistent with your habits, with your routine of journaling. And when you're in a tough spot and you have writer's block as to you don't know what to write or where to start, you're going to use prompts. Now, prompts are again insightful questions that ask you deep, meaningful questions in various areas of your life, so you understand, you know what, all right, fine, this is X, Y, and Z. That's something I need to write about. Whether that be how was your day like, or what are the 5 things that went good in your day, something that you want to give gratitude for, what are you looking forward to, you know, what were the things that actually made your day. It could be literally any kind of journaling prompts that actually help you assess your day, evaluate your day, and that's gonna bring in the flow of journaling. And remember, there are no rules to journaling. Anything goes. Make it your own, give it your own little twist, and do your own thing when it comes to journaling, because that's going to allow you to stay motivated, stay focused, stay consistent. Once you make it so personal, and you know what, once you make it your own, in the sense that you make the process enjoyable and fun for yourself, it's the least tedious thing at all, and you're just going to do it. You're going to look forward to journaling, because now you're going to enjoy the process, and now you're like, you know what, I really like it, and it's actually making sense to me, and it's actually benefiting my life in various, you know, ways, and I'm very happy that I'm doing it. You're gonna do it automatically, without any prompts, without anyone trying to tell you anything. Having said that, we come to the end of this brilliant video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till then, I'm gonna see you in my next one. Take care and bye.
Money on top of me, money on top of her. Money on top of me, money on top of her. Daddy fuck on me.